It happens slowly, then all at once. First they tell you not to worry. Then they tell you it's for your own good. And then, one day, you wake up, and the thing you always counted on is simply gone. We saw it with ammunition. We saw it with baby formula. We saw it with toilet paper. And now it's about to happen to real money. In a move that has been completely ignored by the mainstream financial press, a new regulatory provision, buried deep within the latest 1,000-page omnibus bill, has just given the Treasury Department the emergency power to halt the retail sale of physical precious metals, specifically silver. They are not calling it a ban. They are calling it a temporary suspension to ensure market stability. They are telling you it's to prevent hoarding and speculative excess. But let's call it what it is, a confiscation. They are about to close the exits. They are trapping you in a burning building, and they have just locked the fire escape. The government is about to ban the sale of physical silver, and the reason why will change everything you thought you knew about money. For thousands of years, silver has been the people's money. Gold was the money of kings, but silver was the money of merchants, soldiers, and citizens. It was the backbone of everyday commerce. It was durable, divisible, and had intrinsic value. It was everything that the paper money in your wallet is not. And that is precisely why they are banning it. To understand this, you need to understand the precarious position the US government is in. They have a $34 trillion debt problem that is spiraling out of control. They have a banking system that is functionally insolvent, propped up only by emergency loans from the Federal Reserve. And they have a population that is slowly but surely waking up to the fact that the dollar is losing its value at an alarming rate. As people lose faith in the paper currency, where do they turn? They turn to real assets. They turn to the things that cannot be printed out of thin air. They turn to gold, and increasingly, they are turning to silver. For the average person, buying an ounce of gold for $2, $300 is difficult. But buying an ounce of silver for $30, that is accessible. It is the escape hatch for the middle class. It is the lifeboat for the average citizen who sees the financial storm on the horizon. And the government cannot allow that. They cannot allow you to have an escape hatch. Their entire system of control depends on you being trapped in their system of fiat currency. They need you to keep your money in their banks. They need you to keep your wealth in their rigged stock market. They need you to stay on the plantation. The new provision, Section 204 of the Financial Stability and Market Integrity Act, is the legal mechanism. It gives the Secretary of the Treasury, in consultation with the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, the authority to declare a precious metals emergency. Upon such a declaration, all retail sales of physical bullion, coins, bars, rounds to the public would be immediately suspended for a period of no less than 180 days, a period which can be renewed indefinitely. They will claim it's to stop price gouging. They will claim it's to ensure that industrial users of silver for solar panels, electronics, and defense applications have a steady supply. These are lies. This is a pretext. The real reason is far more sinister. There is a massive and growing physical shortage of silver. The demand for silver from industry and investors is now far outstripping the amount that is being mined each year. The vaults of the COMEX and the London Bullion Market Association are being drained at a record pace. The registered inventory, the actual physical silver available for delivery, is at its lowest level in decades. At the same time, the amount of paper silver, futures contracts, ETFs, unallocated accounts, has exploded. By some estimates, for every 1 ounce of real physical silver that exists, there are over 500 paper claims to that same ounce. It is the biggest Ponzi scheme in financial history, and it is on the verge of collapse. When the day comes that a critical mass of investors demands delivery of the physical metal they thought they owned, the paper market will implode. The price of physical silver will disconnect entirely from the fraudulent paper price, and it will skyrocket to a level that reflects its true scarcity. We are not talking about $50 silver or $100 silver. We are talking about a price so high that it would expose the entire financial system as a fraud. This is what they are terrified of. A silver market default would be a vote of no confidence in all paper assets. It would be the catalyst that triggers a global run on the dollar. So before they let that happen, they will close the market. They will ban you from buying the one thing that can protect you. They will change the rules of the game in the final inning to ensure that you lose. This is not without precedent. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt issued Executive Order 6102, which forbade the hoarding of gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates within the continental United States. The government forced citizens to turn in their gold for a fixed price of $20, 67 per ounce. As soon as they had collected all the gold, they immediately revalued it to $35 per ounce, effectively stealing nearly half of the public's wealth overnight. This is the same playbook. First, they discredit the asset, then they make it difficult to acquire, and finally, they make it illegal. They are not banning it because it is worthless. They are banning it because it is the only thing that is truly valuable. They are banning it because they want it all for themselves. This new provision is the first step. It is the legal framework for the coming confiscation. They will not come to your door to take the silver you already own. Not yet. First, they will simply make it impossible for anyone else to join you. They will cut off the flow of new buyers, trapping millions in a dying currency system. When you see the headlines, don't believe the official story. This is not about market stability. This is about control. It's about eliminating the competition. It's about ensuring that when the great financial reset comes, you are a serf, and they are the lords. They are taking away your lifeboat right before they sink the ship. Let's dissect the language of the provision itself. It is a masterpiece of bureaucratic deception. The phrase temporary suspension is a classic Orwellian inversion of meaning. In the world of government control, there is nothing more permanent than a temporary program. The income tax was temporary. The Patriot Act was temporary. This suspension will be temporary until the moment you die. It is a one-way door. Once it is closed, it will never be reopened. The justification of ensuring market stability is equally fraudulent. The current paper market for silver is the very definition of instability. It is a leveraged, fraudulent casino that is completely detached from the physical reality of supply and demand. A ban on the sale of physical silver will not stabilize this market. It will protect it. It will protect the banks and the hedge funds that have massive, concentrated short positions in the paper market. They have sold claims to silver that they do not have and can never acquire. A ban on physical sales is a bailout for these financial criminals. It prevents a market default that would expose their fraud and bankrupt them. The claim that this is to ensure supply for industrial users is the most cynical lie of all. While it is true that silver is a critical industrial metal, the amount used in investment is a small fraction of the total market. The industrial shortage is real, but it is a problem of a decade of underinvestment in mining, not a problem of a few thousand citizens buying silver coins. This is a pretext, a cover story, to justify an act of financial tyranny. They are using the green energy transition and the needs of the military-industrial complex as an excuse to disarm you financially. This is a critical point. This is not just about money. It is about freedom. The ability to hold your wealth in a form that is outside the banking system, outside the government's control, is a fundamental human right. It is the financial equivalent of the right to bear arms. It is your last line of defense against a tyrannical government. By banning the sale of physical silver, they are not just attacking your wealth. They are attacking your sovereignty. They are making you a financial serf completely dependent on their system, their currency, and their rules. This is the end game of the war on cash. For years, they have been pushing us towards a cashless society, a society where every transaction is digital, tracked, and controlled. A central bank digital currency, or CBDC, is the ultimate goal. A world where they can monitor everything you buy and sell, and where they can shut off your money if you step out of line. A ban on physical silver, and eventually gold, is a necessary precondition for a CBDC. They have to eliminate the competition. They have to close all the exits before they can lock you in their digital prison. This is not a hypothetical future. This is the plan. It is being openly discussed by the Bank for International Settlements, the central bank of central banks. It is being tested in countries like China and Nigeria. And it is coming here. The ban on the sale of physical silver is the canary in the coal mine. It is the final warning that the window to protect yourself is closing. When this happens, the time for buying will be over. The only question will be whether you were smart enough to see it coming, whether you secured your lifeboat before they made it illegal. The government is about to make its move. The only question is, what will be yours?